Hi there, my name is Christy, and today we are going to talk about the SAMS registration process. Anyone who wants to do business with the federal government, wants federal grants, federal loans, items of that nature, have to register with SAMS. If you haven't watched the DUNS number video or you don't have a DUNS number, you can't continue with the SAMS registration until you have completed that step. One thing we're going to talk about today is the recent updates to the SAMS website and how do I complete a SAMS registration. Beware of scams. This is the biggest thing you need to remember with SAMS. Everybody that's searching to do federal government contracting is being preyed on by people who want to make money off of those that are seeking to earn these contracts or grants. Registration is always 100% free. There are companies out there that will assist you for a fee in filling out these documents, but there are also websites out there that are just seeking your personal information. Look for .gov in email addresses when you have correspondent that's going back and forth or offering to assist you with this process. Never provide a credit card number. SAMS will never ask you for that information. And if someone does, run away. When you log into sam.gov for the very first time, not log in, when you actually visit sam.gov for the very first time, you are going to see this pop-up screen right now. It says you have reached the new home of sam.gov. The only thing that has really changed with the website is that sam.gov and beta.sam.gov have now merged, making it easier for businesses. It's the official site now for registering to do business with the federal government. Registration on the site is free. It keeps telling you that. All of the functions below are now in one place. So sam.gov was originally where you went for entity registration, exclusions, entity reporting, disaster response registry, and you had to then go to beta.sam.gov for contracting opportunities, contract data reports, wage determinations, assistance listings, and federal hierarchy. You can now find those in one place. They are all on sam.gov. You can also have resources available to you on sam.gov and a help section, or by going directly to fsd.gov. So what do we need to start the SAMS registration process? So before you even go to sam.gov and you start logging in and all of this information that we're going to talk about, you have to have that DUNS number. Reference the DUNS number video if you're unsure how to obtain that or the process that's required. You also need a TIN number. This is obtained from the IRS. You then have to register as a user at login.gov. Once you have completed those top 3 steps, you can then register as an entity at sam.gov. It's very important to understand the difference between number 3 and number 4. Number 3, you're registering as a user. You personally are registering as a user. Number 4, you are registering the entity with the government. So you're going to go to sam.gov and you're going to click login. First step. You're now being taken to this screen, which is login.gov, which obviously the screen references. SAM is using login.gov to allow you to sign into your account safely and securely. If you haven't gone to login.gov, you can do it right now by going to the bottom where it's highlighted and say create an account. If you already have a login.gov username and password, then you can just sign in. SAMS does require a 2-factor authentication for each login. So choose the best method that works for you. I prefer text messages, some people prefer emails, and they will even call you if required. So remember to update your login.gov or your sam.gov information if you change your email address or your phone number or any of that information, because an incorrect email will actually cause delays because you're truly going to have to prove who you are instead of being able to verify things through your email. Once you've received the code for authentication, you will be transferred to sam.gov. At sam.gov, click Create an Individual Account. That's on the left side of the screen. You're going to complete user information, security questions, and a username. Click Submit and you're ready to begin entity registration. There's a helpful hint. Take a screenshot of your security questions to reference for future use, unless they're the standard security questions that you always utilize, which we all know we're not supposed to utilize the same ones over and over. You're going to return to sam.gov. You're going to click Login, and this will take you to login.gov, again, as we talked about, and you're going to now log in. And you're going to accept the usage agreement. You want to select Entity Registration from the menu on the left-hand column. Select Register a New Entity from that drop-down menu. There are 4 major parts to SAM's registration. Click Start Registration. This is what it looks like. You will receive a notice to have all required documents before you start, in case you forgot. If you're ready, you can just click Continue. The system will lead you through a series of questions. We're not going to cover all those questions today because we pretty much have talked about it, but you can see on this screen, the very first question they ask for is that DUNS number. They then want to know your legal business name. Make sure it matches exactly. Your physical address has to match exactly. They all have to tie back to your DUNS number and to your TIN. Everything has to match exactly. If they don't match exactly, update your information, start the process again. Once your core documentation is complete, you will be asked for a CAGE code. You do not have this yet. So as a new registered user, you need to just answer no and click Save and Continue. You will now complete another series of general and financial information. Make sure to answer all of these questions or you will receive an error. The errors are generally listed in red at the top of the page that you're working on. So now you have all your core data complete. Next, enter your representations and certifications. You must check the box at the end after reading through this entire page and click Save and Continue. This is the last step in the process, and it is the point of contact. This is where your SAM administrator would be. Owner, administration person, whoever it is that you've deemed within your organization to be the point person for SAM registration. I've highlighted the areas that are required. First and last name, email, phone number, and then your address, matching exactly. The SAM's registration process then brings you to a screen where you're going to review all of this information that you have put into the system. Make sure you double check everything before going to the next process. You're also going to receive a disclaimer at the bottom that you have completed this information to the best of your ability and you're not providing false or misleading information. You're going to click Submit. What to expect next? So in a few days, you're going to receive a notice that your registration has passed IRS validation. This is coming directly from the IRS. So if for some reason you get flagged for unable to match with the IRS, that's coming from your TIN number, you have to resolve that directly with the IRS, not with sam.gov. Next, you're going to receive your CAGE validation. When you receive a CAGE validation email, you have to answer the questions correctly. It's another validation process. Once it's approved, you're going to receive your notice that your SAM activation notice is complete. Remember, SAM has to be renewed annually before your anniversary date in order to maintain compliance. Thank you for joining me with SAM's registration process. If you have any further questions, contact your local SBDC.